Welcome to this tutorial where we're going to take a look at the Excel Publisher template reports, and we're going to provide an overview for the NAV, SCM or inventory module templates. I'm going to cover several of the features that are common to most of those template reports, so I don't need to repeat them again within each of the individual videos. The data in these reports is my demo data, but once they're connecting to your system, then the data you'll be seeing will be your data. Not all these reports will be relevant to everyone. If you're only using your inventory module to track volumes and not valuations and costings on your inventory items, then any of my costing templates will be irrelevant, or they may just need to be modified just to show volumes rather than volumes and valuations. Some of the reports will have drop-down menus, so let's just take a look at some of the reports. We'll see some reports will have drop-down menus. We'll come back to this report and why it's not showing anything in my drop-down menus. Some of them will have graphs on using the graphing capabilities within Excel Publisher. Again, drop-down menus appearing. Some reports will allow you to drill up and drill down. So, for example, this report I've already created such that it's at the lowest level of detail, so there is no drill up and drill down, but other reports you will be able to drill up and down on the rows or columns. Some reports may have blank columns because they're trying to reference data that either you're not using or is not applicable to you. So for example, if you're not using your inventory module to track costs, then this column here in my report may show blanks or maybe zeros, and you may just need to modify your template such that it's only looking at volumes instead. First thing you've got to do with any of these reports, though, is have them connected to your Precision Point installation. So at the moment, when you first get them, they're all trying to look at the Precision Point servers that we have located in our offices. So if I was to try and refresh this report, you'll get an error message saying it can't connect to the server. So if that's what you're getting, then you just need to edit the report. In fact, we don't want to go to the edit screen. It's the properties screen where we want to go. You will get an error message, and then we go to connection properties and type in the name of the Precision Point server. Please ask your IT team if you're unsure of what that is. And you'll know that you've typed it incorrectly because the report will then refresh and you won't get any error messages. And then suddenly all your drop-down menus will start working as well, and now I've just used a drop-down menu to select a warehouse, and my report has updated for that individual warehouse. One thing to be aware of on these reports is that whilst on all reports there's going to be a drop-down menu where you can select between your companies. That's only relevant if you are a multi-company installation. So my system here is only a single company, so I'm going to see a company drop-down menu just with one option in all of my reports. For my purposes, if you are a single company, then I wouldn't want a drop-down menu with the companies because there is only ever one choice. So for all those sites that are single company, I would recommend that you go into the edit screen of your report and drag company off the report, hit finish and save it, so then it no longer is on the report. For all those companies that are multi-company, then you should leave that on your report, and you can use that to filter the different companies or hard code in a specific company if that report is only meant to be always looking at an individual company. Our company feature, a currency feature within Precision Point, if you have multi-companies, for example, you have a US dollar company and a euro company, if I filtered the report to look at the US dollar company, then all figures will be in US dollars. If I then change it to look at the euro company, then all cost amounts will be in euros. If you want to see reports where you have multi-companies and they're converted into a common currency, so in my example, maybe I want to see the euro company converted into US dollars, then Precision Point does have that capability. That's our common currency module. Should you require further information on that, please contact your Precision Point account manager. Some of the reports will have dates in them set up. So for example, this report here, it's picking up the current month and trending back an additional 7 months or so. So this report is always going to be updated such that if I move into December, then this column will be December, and then the prior months will be displayed to the left. So that is an example of a historical report where we're using the precision point function to detect today's date. It's better illustrated on another report that I have here. In this report, picking up today's date as the first column and then trending 30 days into the future. When I refresh this report tomorrow, the 1st of December will be appearing in my first column and again trending 30 days. That's using the today feature within the precision point solution. And we can see that if I were to come in here, I can see that we're picking up the today property, and in this case, trending out 30 days into the future. The today property on precision point, if your system updated last night and therefore updated before midnight, then the today feature will be yesterday's date. If it processed after midnight, the today feature will be today's date. So several of the reports may be using that functionality. Because we're looking at my demo data, there's pieces of information within the inventory module that I don't have, such as bill of materials, resources, machine centers, some of the manufacturing areas such as consumption and output. Those will be in your precision point solution should you be using those features, but you may need to modify some of these templates to take into account those components. So for example, this report I'm looking at here that's trying to project inventory will be ignoring bill of materials, so things coming out of production. So some of the reports will need modifying to cater for your requirements. And again, these are designed as starting points for reports as opposed to the finished items themselves. Some reports may take a while to refresh. So for example, if I go back to one of these reports that I have, this report where I'm listing every inventory item and being able to see its volumes and valuations. Obviously, if you have hundreds of thousands of items, then this report could take a long time. And in fact, you may not need a report that lists every item and its current volumes and valuations. So if some of these reports do take a long time, it may be just that we're asking them to return more data than people would actually want to view on the screen. So it may be that you'd be only wanting to see a subset because nobody's going to realistically be looking at a report with 100,000 lines of data on it. Maybe it should have further filter criteria, or maybe drill up and drill down criteria, so it starts as a summary report and then you double click to see the detail behind it. So we've come to the end of most of the common items that we're going to see on the report. As I said, each individual template has its own video, so I would recommend that you now take a look at the individual videos themselves. And that concludes this overview.